Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm down here live from the Nevada Southern Detention Center in Pahrump, Nevada. We are standing on the ground down here, trying to observe and figure out what's going on to some of the guys in here in the abuse. The wind is pretty strong out here today. The sun is bright, it's warm, but we'll try to give you some updates on what we're knowing here. We've got behind me, this is still the entrance to the detention center, and it is blocked off, as you can see. And we've got two vans. They are blocking the entrance, and it's been this way since sometime yesterday. We've got a lot of messages from the guys today. Multiple of the guys have called either their wives and different people. We've got one of the attorneys in there again today. We've talked to the sheriff here in this county today, and we've got quite a handful of supporters out here. There also are several people that did a march around this prison. It's quite a march. It's over a mile-long march around it, just because you cannot get anywhere close to the prison. The sheriff told us they would not bother us at all, and that they respected us for being out here, and that there's going to be some investigations. As we're talking here, I'll kind of give you some views of what's going on around here. So here's some of the cars down here, and we've got a tent and some flags, and we've got vehicles all the way up through here that are parked right across the street here from the detention center. We've got tents and campers in the back here. We've got, I think I've counted now 7 tents set up, and there is a pull behind camper back there that has some bunks in it that people are staying in. Right now, I haven't seen them come back. They left about 30 or 40 minutes ago to do the march around. They got their flags and loudspeakers, and the sheriff, when the sheriff came out here and did a little kind of a press conference, a speech to us, told us that we had every right to march around this jail, and we have every right to protest, and that the prison guards here do not have a right to retaliate if we're doing this, which was some of the reports that we got back, that possibly there can be some retaliation. They might even move the guys to other prisons, and so that's kind of some of the stuff we've been told. But other than that, it's been a peaceful deal out here. Everyone here has been peaceful, and we are going to maintain that. The sheriff was very outspoken and reaching out to us. One of the things that she told us is that there is a criminal investigation going on. She doesn't know all the details of what happened, but she is 100% investigating what happened here, and they will get back to us one way or the other of any of the abuse that's going on here at this prison. She said if it turns into that she finds the finding that there has been law enforcement or officers here that have committed a crime, that she won't be able to speak to us anymore on that situation. That only thing she could do at that point is continue with her investigation. But she is planning on setting up a meeting with us here inside the inside of the town here, and we maybe hopefully get to meet with the sheriff and have some more of these questions answered. We know that these kind of things should not be happening in this country, and for law enforcement officers, correctional officers to abuse another human being in these ways is total criminal. And so we want answers, and that's why we're here. Give you some pictures up behind us again. We just had a law enforcement correctional car just pull up again, and they kind of hide behind the vehicle and the van here most of the time. They peek around the corner. We had one correctional officer that brought down another guard to sit in the van last night, and the guard that they left was a younger man, and we could hear him talking to someone over there, and he was saying he did not want to be left alone, that he was afraid to stay here overnight, because other people were here, and that he and even stated that he needed a radio that worked, and ended up not staying here. All the guards and law enforcement here ended up abandoning the place and leaving last night. But they have been somewhat of a smaller presence today than yesterday, but we're still seeing the guards make their rounds, and that are a little out of the character, that they normally don't do that, but making rounds around the fence, which is quite a ways. It's over a half a mile up there to the jail. And we're way out here. We're on public property, is where we're all parked. We're not parked anywhere on this anywhere on the prison property itself. We are totally on private property. We're seeing them now. They have made, and it's too far for the camera to see it, but we're seeing on the very back side of the jail here, we can see flags that the prisoners can see, where they're making their march all the way around the jail. And some of the ones that are here, we're seeing them, and we're trying to yell back at them. All right. But we have a good-sized group walking all the way around the jail. All right. 18. So we and the prisoners inside today. So let me give you some updates of what we're hearing out here about the prisoners inside. They were on total lockdown, and they were not allowed to make any phone calls outside the jail up until this morning. And the prisoners inside, we know at least two blocks in there, called G block is one of them, and another one, I don't remember the block number, but there's two separate blocks that have about 100 people in it.
We got something going on. If you can take a little break for that, I got to talk to you. It's very important.
Okay,
urgent on emergency.
I'm gonna step away from here a minute. I've got to answer a question. I'm just gonna turn this around, and I'll be right back with the camera. So hold on, everybody. I'll be right back with you. Just at the moment, we have quite a few law enforcement that are around here yet. But anyway, I'll get back to what I was talking about with the guys in jail. We had 2 blocks of people in jail, and there's approximately 100 people in each one of these blocks. And both them 2 blocks of prisoners protested yesterday peacefully about what was going on out here, about them being in lockdown. One of the groups sat in chairs. They sat in chairs.
That's what I hear, but
We've got the sheriff again here. She was here just a little bit ago, and we're hearing there's possibly a lot of law enforcement on the way out here. We don't know exactly what's going on, but there's been some complaints. And
they're walking on the berm, and they need to get off the berm.
If you get off there, I would.
So we're just trying to find out here what's kind of going on here in a moment here. But they gave the guys their phone privileges back today, and they gave the guys back their microwaves and some food and stuff like that. I know there's a lot of wind. I do have a mic on here today, but when there's 40 mile an hour wind out here like this, it's a little bit difficult, even with the mics and everything else going on. I apologize. It down the road behind me, for some reason today, and this was the sheriff that was just here in this little ATV that just taken off, and she told us we had every right to be doing what we're doing, but we're seeing down the road the opposite direction here. We're seeing quite a few law enforcement that are ramping up for some reason. We don't know why, but everybody out here has been peaceful. So we still have these two vans blocking the entrance since yesterday, and then we have another security guard on the other side in a car that he just constantly just drives around the perimeter in the parking lot here. But when we talked to the sheriff this morning, she said it was all right for us to walk around the jail and to carry our flags. It's public property. There's a fence there with no trespassing signs. I'll get a little closer so you can see the no trespassing signs, but these are brand new, have been put up about every 20 feet all the way around the perimeter. And see if you can see that sign there. The sun's kind of bright out here, so it's hard for me to tell, but there's a no trespassing sign there, and those signs are on the fence all the way around this whole place. And
do you have somebody that I can talk to that's in that group that might have a phone? Do you know what the number is?
Not for sure who has phone numbers back there.
Is that sheriff's down there?
It is.
Have her phone on her?
She doesn't know.
Well,
It
I don't know who's
well, Sharon, she's going to be there in a little bit close. She's going to have a talk to him.
So the sheriff went back to talk to them. That's who the ones that are walking around. The guards are concerned. There's not really much communication. Is one of the problems we have out here. That the prison officials, they panic in anything that is being done out here, and the sheriff's department tells us we have rights and that we're allowed to do certain things, and then the prison guards here panic and they start calling and calling the sheriff's department and complaining on, I guess, different ones that are out here peacefully protesting.
They're coming.
So we have now up the road here police cars turning all their lights on and a lot of lights. I'm going to step across the road here to a little better area and we'll see what's going on here. But we've got quite a few police cars coming up the road here. I'm going to turn the camera around a minute.
Okay, here we go. Sheriff's. Aha, you can't get through, buddy.
It's all blocked off. The sheriff's trying to get in, but they can't even get in. We've got a lot of sheriffs here trying to figure out what to do. Now they're turning around here. See, they're not even organized out here. They don't even know what's going on.
They don't even know where their boss is. Their boss is
We
over
had this
there.
discussion with them earlier, but the sheriffs are all turning around and going the other way for some reason.
Look at this, it's peeling out like we're gonna attack them.
They're all coming down here. We got more of them. They're all turning and going around the jail pretty quick, it looks like.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is...
So we're down here again at the detention center in Pahrump, Nevada. And we're sure that this is all about the ones that were marching around the jail over here. And the sheriff's department themselves, which we discussed with them this morning, they can't even get through here for their own security reasons. So that's the sheriff's department. This ATV coming back over here, if you can see it, is the main sheriff herself. So this is the main sheriff herself, and she doesn't have a radio on this four-wheeler at all, we noticed this morning. She has a 6-shooter on, like a revolving 6-shooter, so she can't even make contact with her own deputies if she needs to. But she's coming back, and maybe we think they're the sheriff's department's bringing a little SWAT team in because of the people walking around the jail. We don't know. This is the main sheriff here. This is the sheriff herself.
Yeah, that's Sharon coming up, the sheriff of Nye County. She's on the passenger there.
So this is okay.
Alrighty.
So that was one of our lawyers. see what the sheriff has to say.
What happened? Are they just like...
So what's all the cop cars and SWAT team for?
Well, because they called in.
Oh.
People inside their fence line, and we went to see inside their fence line.
Yes.
They are.
Okay, good deal.
They're walking, they haven't detained
Well,
them,
When they
It'll
came
take them a long time to get around because they got to go around that big white tank.
when they came down here a while ago, the police didn't even know, the SWAT team didn't even know this is closed, so they was almost hitting each other trying to turn around. They was actually, it was kind of a hilarious deal, but they were trying to make a U-turn here, and they were running off into the ditch and everything with the county cars. They're all lined up over there now, we can see. We just don't want them hurting anybody over there because, yeah. I know, but I know you're the main person in charge. Yeah, if you could go over there, because they got
Thanks
law
a lot,
enforcement
Sharon.
all over. Yeah, we got sheriff's deputies over there, and the main sheriff's going to go over there and try to make sure we got law enforcement all over the bank back there. Her own deputies are about to crash in cars into the ditch. I don't know if you can see back there that far, but I've got the camera trying to zoom in as best I can. But we got law enforcement up on the bank themselves. We got law enforcement cars inside the prison area, the sheriffs. This is all the deputies. And that was the main sheriff of this county. Her first name is Sharon. And she was on this little ATV running around here today. There's a lot of things going on in town too. There's a parade and some other activities. But so for some reason they got that whole group of sheriff SWAT team up on the bank, and all because of a call from prison officials claiming that that there was people inside of their perimeter, inside the fence area, but they were not. They were all peacefully walking, and I see them now coming back over here. I can see some flags popping up. It's over a half a mile from the fence line to any point of this jail. This jail sits in the middle of this big fenced-in lot.
Going over to them right now.
And now Sharon, the sheriff, the woman sheriff here, she's over there talking to her deputies. So hopefully she can escalate the situation and get them to leave. So de-escalate, that's right. I pronounce my words wrong all the time. I need help. I can barely see the flags over there, but they're slowly walking back, and they're still outside of that fenced-in area. But
Now they're sitting there contemplating they need to go around. It is a long way around.
None of them had their weapons drawn when they got up there, did they?
it's too far for me to see. So anyway, I'm back. Turn the screen around this way. We are continuing to be peaceful out here. As Americans, we should have a right. We shouldn't have this kind of aggressiveness towards Americans that are out here trying to peacefully protest corruption that's going on in the jail. We shouldn't feel threatened if we are trying to expose a crime and expose something that's going on. Ammon Bundy, for one, was abused in this prison. And even if no one wants to believe that, he has a right to a redress of his complaint that he has. He can't even call out to the sheriff from there. Them numbers are kept from him. And the sheriff is now investigating this as a criminal investigation. She told us that this morning. Hopefully she does her job and does what she's paid to do, and really investigates something to happen to somebody. Other prisoners in here said they wanted to complain or wanted to write up a complaint of what they seen, what they witnessed, and they were told that if they did that they would be retaliated against or put in the hole for writing up a complaint about another security officer. This kind of stuff should not be happening to people. even if somebody's a horrible criminal, you shouldn't have to beat up people for these things that's happening here. Prison abuse needs to stop. These kind of things is totally uncalled for, and that's why we're out here. That's why so many people are here peacefully. Let them know that we know that something bad happened here, and that Ammon shouldn't have been handcuffed with his hands behind his back for 13 hours in a 3x3 hole. For 13 hours, he could not even lay down in there. And we're wanting to find out for ourselves. We want to know the truth here. And when you got a building where things are kept from the people, we're finding out all this stuff is secret. They don't even let us know. The sheriff doesn't even have access to all of the video cameras immediately, and they're trying to get access. If I did that in my home, they would tear the home down, getting what they wanted to. So no one should be above the law. Even the law themselves, for sure, they should not be above the law. They should be accountable to somebody, and we're not finding that accountability. I'm still looking back here. We still got that whole SWAT team up on the embankment. We still got all the cop cars back there with all their lights on. The main sheriff lady, it looks like she's still back there. They're trying to check this out and see what's going on. And I don't see where all the ones with the flags are at just yet, but they're still trying to make their way around. It's a long ways around this fence. We're nowhere near the jail. We're outside on public property. It's a state of Nevada property. It's not even a private property. It's public property. And so before I close off, I'll just keep watching here and see if there's anything else. But other than that, we are going to be here for the next couple of days and observing what's going on, letting people know why we're here. We want prison abuse stopped. We don't want this to continue, and we want accountability of these prison guards that abused people in here over and over again. And these prisoners are even afraid to speak up because of what happened. So I can hear them up there on the loudspeakers coming this way, but they haven't quite made it here yet. It's a long ways around this jail. It's probably more like a 3-mile walk going all the way around it, and it's desert out here too. It's not all road. We've only got about a mile of actual pavement, and the rest of it is all dirt, rock, and cactus and desert. It's not an easy walk to walk around there. If we walked on the prison property itself, it would be an easy walk. It's graveled, it's cleared off, and we would have better access, but we don't. I see someone says keep the live stream going, and we'll keep it going for a little bit longer here and just see what's happening. I'll get a little closer here again, try to give you another view of what's the law enforcement looks like back there. I'll turn this camera around and let you see here. We've got this is the 2 vans that are blocking the road. There's a little guard or a cattle guard type thing that's blocking it. The vans have been parked here since yesterday. As you can see, there's even a bar on the steering wheel inside the window there that's locking these 2 things up. This is the other prison van here. Then these are both bumper to bumper across the road here, blocking this whole entrance off here. And down there towards the end, I'll try to zoom in again. See if we can see those law enforcement officer back there. Get some lights flashing. And then we see still got a few of the law enforcement up on the embankment. And all the prison guards are back there. That parking lot's normally where we park at back here. In that area over there, kind of, it's hard to see, but we normally park in that area. Today there is no one there but law enforcement vehicles. They have moved that parking lot because of us being out here.
Do you suppose they use this as an excuse to put everybody back in lockdown?
They could have. We don't like it that they put everybody back in lockdown. It's abuse. These lockdowns happen whether we're here or not at different times. It isn't just what we do. It happens all the time in here for all kinds of reasonings.
Yeah, while she's in there, why don't she ask to view the tape?
So that's the prison back there, guys. We'll switch this around here and see if we can. Here they're coming back with some of the flags.
No one crossed the line. No video evidence.
Oh shit, they weren't trespassing. Let's go check it out.
They definitely were not trespassing. They were not crossing the line. They all stayed in that fenced-in area.
They amped this up. They amped all this up. Not us.
Why are they still coming up in hordes?
We know that one of the lawyers just went in there and visited some of the guys again, and he's coming back in this Jeep up here. So hopefully we'll get to talk to him briefly. He might not be able to tell us much, but we'll see what he can say to us.
County vehicle right there. In the parking lot.
The Sheriff's Department now is starting to leave. All their lights are off, but they're starting to leave back there. So there's the ones that's coming back, marching back, and from the long walk around there. It took them over an hour to march that whole walk.
He's gonna go try and find the sheriff.
They probably put him on lockdown in there again too, huh?
They probably did. We're hoping. I see someone asked what Ammon's condition is. Ammon is very sore. He is very thin, and there's been a couple different people that have went in and seen him, and he is definitely very, very thin and weak. He will regain his strength. We're just praying that they don't continue treating him the way they have been, but he's doing good right now. He's still in solitary confinement, but he is and getting fed there, but it's poor food but it's not quite as good if you're in general population. The food in solitary is very meager, simple type of protein type bar. So here's some of them just making it back that walked around, and it looks like the law enforcement went ahead and left. The attorney down here, he's going to go back and try to talk to the main sheriff and see what the situation was. Why wasn't the sheriff even aware that her own deputy SWAT team was raiding the prison here? We got some motorcycle I'm watching down here at the end, which is too far for you to see really, but down here at the end there's motorcycle policemen even that have showed up. So here's everybody back. Maybe Nathan can give us a little update on what actually happened back there. I don't know if he was close enough or not.
Right there. What are they saying happened?
Well, they didn't say nothing. The law enforcement, the Sheriff's Department came running up here with all their sirens and lights on. And almost running into each other, running into the ditch, making U-turns because this was all blocked off and they was not able to get in. And they didn't realize it was even blocked off. So then they ran back that way and went in the back entrance. And then the sheriff lady came back up here, Sharon, the sheriff. She didn't even know why her officers were out here. So she was going to go down there and de-escalate.
She waved at us.
Well, what we heard was, but we were getting word that people were saying we went inside the perimeter, and nobody did that. So somebody wasn't being straight with them, I'd say.
It definitely felt that. I asked her, I said, we don't want anybody to get hurt back there. Why are your officers up on the bank? I said, somebody could get hurt or even shot here. So she said, okay, and she turned around and hurried and catch up with you guys to see what was going on.
She waved at us.
Yeah.
She would, I thought, okay, that's a good sign. She waved at us.
Yes.
So I felt the pressure go from here to down. And Mississippi goes, oh, she's probably lying, but I don't know.
Well, half of me wondered if she was just trying to just trying to lure us in and have him. He was like, okay, we're good. So,
Did the law enforcement talk to you at all?
not at all.
Yeah. She didn't even have a radio to radio them. She got on her cell phone trying to call back all of a sudden when she seen how many police officers were back there.
What I saw was the officers that were there sort of running this way. And
Yes.
they went that way, and then they went up and shook hands.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So maybe this is just drama.
It definitely is.
Yeah, I think we're okay. I don't think there's. I know nobody went over the fence. I was there at the time.
Okay.
Maybe when we said the Lord's Prayer. Oh, I didn't even say that.
We've got down here, we still got law enforcement down here at the next road. That's the last entrance to the jail. And so we still got law enforcement and motorcycle law enforcement also here. But this is our group, guys. This is who's out here today. We know we have more people coming that are coming from around the country. We have people from Colorado here. We have people from Washington State. We have people from Oregon, Idaho, Utah, and of course all over parts of Las Vegas and Nevada out here, and myself from Montana. So anyone who wants to come out here and peacefully stand with us all day, we welcome you. We would even like to get a group of people that will come and go into town, and because of the activity that's going in there, we can hold some signs and say, stop prison abuse. Stop this abuse to prisoners by guards. Make people accountable for their actions. So, we got people from California here also. I know I'm missing some states, but there's people that have came from all over here. The 2 motorcycle cops now just left over here, and they're way down the road there. It's hard to see them. Now they're turning around for some reason, and let's see what they're doing. The 2 motorcycle cops and the Jeep is getting in behind them. They're escorting the Jeep in there. 1 motorcycle cop's in front of the Jeep and 1's behind the Jeep. One of the guys down there just hollered and said they're escorting the lawyer in to see the sheriff. So they're giving the lawyer an escort into the prison since the parking lot is on lockdown. So that's our update right now. That's what's going on out here. We've been quite busy. There's my van with the flagpole on top and the speaker on top and some signs. This is my rig that I've been traveling around all over Las Vegas and Nevada in. We've got all the names of the political prisoners. We've got, I know I've got a few probably missing all over the van, but I try to get them all. But we've got jury nullification. And so this is what I've been driving around out here in Nevada and Las Vegas. Free Joe Robertson, some more names on here of the guys that are here in this prison. So, but we will have you more updates as we know here today and tomorrow, and we don't know how long I'm going to be out here, but try to keep you informed and what's going on, and hopefully we can get this abuse stopped and get some justice here. I'll have you more updates on court dates and stuff, hopefully later on today or tomorrow. We have some more information about who's going to be tried next and how that's all going to take place. But it's still a little vague. We do know that Steve Myrie has intentions on trying some of these last 6 guys again, possibly starting on June 26th. And that looks like it'll put the trial off for Cliven and those guys even further off, and we're praying that doesn't happen. These guys are looking forward to going to court and getting this behind them and proving their innocence. But I'll have you more update later on the situation on the court stuff as soon as we can. Thanks again for joining us, guys, and we'll keep you posted, and we'll come on here if there's anything important that we can give you. Thanks again, and God bless, and keep us all in your prayers out there.